Hey everyone, so it's Kui. I'm back with another video, and I have my baby with me. I just wanted to come and kind of give y'all an update because I know I left y'all hanging after that last video when I was in the hospital, and I was supposed to be vlogging every day, at least doing a daily update up until I had him, but it just ain't work out like that because for one, I was just so frustrated from being in the hospital for so long, and I was just over it and just ready to be done with the process and move on with life. So we're home now. It's 6 weeks. He's 6 weeks now. He was born on September 9th, so he's now 6 weeks old, maybe a little older. Maybe he's going on 7 weeks actually. Yeah, he's 7 weeks today. Well, tomorrow he'll be 7 weeks. So yeah, he's 7 weeks. We're home. He's been home for 5 weeks. He ended up staying in the NICU for 2 weeks before I could bring him home. So basically after that video that I was letting y'all know how my water broke and everything, I was in the hospital. I don't even know when I recorded that video. I'll have to go back and see when I recorded that video. But I was still in the hospital until I had him. I was 34 weeks when I had him. Everything was safe and normal with the delivery. I had a vaginal delivery. So basically, on the day that I turned 34 weeks, I was supposed to be induced, but they didn't have a room for me, so I couldn't get induced that day. So I had to end up waiting till the next day. So in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, my nurse came in my room and she was like, okay, they ready for you now. We got a room, so we're gonna take you to the delivery room now. So I'm like, okay. So I get to the delivery room around 3:30 in the morning. And they had to go through the whole, what is it called? Admission into the delivery room with me, and had to fill out some paperwork and stuff. And they got blood and put in a new IV and everything. And then we began the induction process. So I got induced. She started my induction at, I would say, between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I think it was more closer to 5 o'clock. Yeah, it was more closer to 5 o'clock. So we started that at around 5 a.m. They gave me Pitocin. If you don't know what Pitocin is a drug medication that they give you via IV, and it is to promote contractions. So basically, it's a medication that makes you have contractions so that you can deliver your baby. Now, if you don't know or you didn't watch the last video, my water had already broken, and my water had been broke for 2 weeks prior to this induction. So it was just a matter of me, my body starting the contractions and pushing him out. So I started that at around 5 o'clock, and with Pitocin, they increased the dosage. She was increasing it like every 30 minutes as the contractions start to come more and more close together, and then they just keep increasing it until they get it to a point where they want it. So they want your contractions to be like 1.5 to 2 minutes apart, which is very intense, especially when you labor fast. So Long story short, I got the Pitocin, and 3 hours later, after being on the Pitocin, I had my baby. So it wasn't a very long process. His dad was not able to make it there in time because he was dropping the kids off and things, and we had already arranged for the day before that I was supposed to be having the baby. So he got there like an hour after I had him, which is fine. They took my baby to the NICU. Not immediately, because he was fine for the most part. He was breathing. He came out crying and everything. He was okay. So they let me do a little bit of skin to skin with him, and then they took him down to the NICU. He was 5 pounds 3 ounces, which was my smallest baby, but even still, for him to be 6 weeks early, that was pretty big. To be, some babies are full term and be 5 pounds. So he was 5 pounds 3 ounces. They took him to the NICU. They had an IV. He had to be on an IV to make sure that his blood sugar levels and things like that was normal. And then they took that off like 24 hours after. He also was on an antibiotic too. And they took him off of that like a day or two after he was born. And then basically in the NICU, he was just being observed. He had to be under heat for almost the whole time he was in there. His body just really was not staying warm by itself. And he did end up having to be on a feeding tube for a little bit because he wasn't able to drink as much milk that he was supposed to be drinking for his weight and for him to gain weight and for his brain development. So they had to make sure that he was doing that properly. So they put a feeding tube so that he can get the right amount of food. And he was on that for about a week, I would say. Maybe, yeah, about a week. Because a few days before he left, he got took off of it. Yeah, so he was on the feeding tube for about a week. His first few days, he didn't have to be on the feeding tube. But eventually, as days progressed and he had to start eating more and more, he couldn't. So they had to put a feeding tube. So he was on that for about a week. And then a few days after he got off the feeding tube, then he was ready to come home. He passed all his tests. They had to do a car seat test, and they had to test his blood oxygen levels to make sure that his body was getting oxygen throughout his whole body. They did that, and then just keeping him off the heat for a couple days to make sure that his body was maintaining the body temperature. And then he was able to come home. So now he's been home. He's doing good, and I'm doing good. I can say that whole experience was very, it was very different. It was very unexpected. It was very stressful, tiring, and traumatizing in ways. Just being in a hospital room for weeks by yourself it's not fun. It's traumatizing. So nonetheless, I'm good. I'm out of the hospital. I'm home. I've been home. Everything is good. So we just been home, spending time. If y'all want, what I'll probably do is I didn't vlog when I was going to the NICU because it was just too much. I wanted to be able to have like that journey for him when he get older, just documenting his whole birth, because it was not the average. But when it come time to do it, it was just like, it was just too much. Felt like I was going through too much, and I was stressed, and sometimes I was emotionally unstable, so I didn't vlog it. But I do have pictures of him when he was in the NICU, so I can probably just do a little slideshow of that at the end of the video. I'll put the pictures at the end of the video. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I don't know. If y'all have questions, then let me know in the comments, and then I'll either do a Q&A video. I'll do a Q&A video. If y'all have questions about anything, about how it works when your water breaks early, because I know a lot of the stigma is that, and even me, like, I didn't know this, but I always thought if your water broke, you had to have the baby within 24 hours or the baby died. Like, that's what I thought. So if you have any questions about that, what the whole process is, if this was to happen to you, or you just curious, then let me know any questions that y'all have, and I will be happy to do another video answering all the questions about it, because I know, like, I searched on YouTube when I was in the hospital. It wasn't a whole lot of videos of people going through that same thing. I did find a few. There are some people that did have videos like that, but just not that many, and not very many of them are very detailed. So with this unique situation, if y'all do want to know more, if you have questions of anything, then leave the question in the comments, and I will gladly answer y'all questions. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm feeding him right now, and hopefully I'll get some vlogs uploaded for y'all, because I've been doing some things around the house, and we're gonna be moving soon, so I can do some things like that. And when we get in a new place, I can show y'all some decorating ideas that I have, and just some vlogs, like day in the life with a mom with a new baby, because it's definitely different. It's a change, it's a big adjustment. This is my third baby, by the way, so I have 2 other kids. So yeah, if y'all want to see some day in the lives with newborn, also breastfeeding too, I have to tell y'all about my breastfeeding journey, and I will do that in another video. I'll do that in another video. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and finish feeding him, and we're gonna go get my other kids from school, and I'm gonna go eat some lunch. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Also, like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos. Thank you. Bye.